Hi, Mr. Fresco, or whoever is doing the CAS check, and I'm almost positive it's Mr. Fresco. It's me again, doing another very annoying video because I like it better than writing the paragraph. So I just got done with my last show of Once on This Island, and I thought I'd do like a like a big video to explain everything because it's been so crazy busy that I haven't had the chance to talk about all the work and preparation that I think my last video was like right before Tech Week. So Tech Week and then a full weekend of shows. So I'm just gonna like briefly explain all of that. So Tech Week is basically the worst week ever because you are at school all day, and then from 3 to like 9:30 you are at rehearsing, and that was like every night until Thursday. Like every single night you would get back from, like, you were already tired from school, and then you'd basically rehearse for like 6 hours. And it's really, really hard and tiring, especially with all the homework we have to do and all the IB things I had due that week. But basically, we would work on problem things until 5 o'clock, and then we'd eat dinner for 20 minutes, and then we'd go and we'd run through the entire show. And usually during Tech Week, we'd stop a little bit for like problem areas. And unfortunately, I was in a lot of the problem area spots this week. The Andrea sequence, which is like my big number, probably was one of the scenes that we had to work really hard because we never really touched that before. We never really staged it. So especially in like the beginning days of Tech Week, I was kind of in a lot of trouble because I didn't exactly know what my staging is, and I'm not a very physical person, so I didn't really know how to fix that. Fix like the awkwardness, just like standing, knowing when to move your hands or speak. So that was, I think, my biggest issue, especially since I've been working really hard on the dance. So I kind of knew for the most part what I was doing there. It was mostly just my staging that was wrong. And then, to be honest, this was one of the harder Tech Weeks. We were not as far along as we probably should have been. Especially even Thursday night, the night before the show, I was a little freaked out. Wednesday, I was especially freaked out because my costume got changed, and I had a quick change, and then the new costume was a much harder, like, dress to do the quick change in. My other costume fit under my main costume, so I could just change really quickly in the wings and not even have to slip anything else on and change that. But the new dress was a longer dress, so it could not fit under my costume. But I made it work. I actually ended up pinning it up so that it did fit under my costume to make the change much easier and much quicker. And I think that everyone was really impressed with that aspect of the performance, especially during the student matinee. In fact, everyone thought that when I came out in a different outfit, like 5 seconds after, everyone thought it was my identical twin sister, even though my sister was in the audience. She's not actually in the production, so I thought that was really funny. Tech Week was very, very hard, very, very tiring. I actually still cannot believe that I got through it because that's how absolutely ridiculously just taxing it was on like the mind and body. I was so tired, especially since I had to go home and do a couple more hours of homework every night. So I'd get home at about 10 o'clock, and then I'd work way into the night just to study for my tests and do all my homework. And it's a lot. I thought that it would be okay, but it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Even after 6 shows, this is my 6th show, or was my 6th show, it was still extremely difficult for me to go home being so tired and do all my work. As for the shows, the student matinee was not it was not our best show. It was hard because our lighting designer, who did a lot of the light cues, was not able to come because he goes to Dreyfus. He had his own school to go to, and his parents would not let him come to Suncoast to do the student matinee. So it was a lot of like issues with our microphones and the tech, and then even just the audience, they weren't as into it this year, I guess, as you would say. So our energy was kind of little bit lower than it usually is, especially during a student matinee, because usually they're screaming at you the entire time. And honestly, they shouldn't do that. It's not polite during a show, but just from being in 6 shows, I know that like when they're screaming at me, even though it's kind of rude during the show, it kind of gets me more pumped because at least they're engaged in the story and like what's happening, and they're responding. Maybe not in the best way, but at least they are. So this year we didn't really have that, and I feel like it kind of had a toll on the overall performance. But I think the important thing is that we got through it, and everyone seemed to like it. I think I heard from several people that it was actually a very enthralling piece of theater, and that they wanted to come back, which was exciting. Friday night was probably our worst show out of all 4. We had a lot of technical issues. All of our mics for some reason went off at the same time. There was a problem with a different quick change, and her mic actually fell out of her mic pack and hit the floor and broke, which these microphones are expensive, so everyone was a little upset about that. They ended up fixing it, so that was good, but I know the actors were a little like shaken after that. And then just the show, the energy was very low. I think they were all very rattled from the technical difficulties, especially the microphones being off. I personally felt that I had a good show that night, and even in the student matinee, I didn't feel like I did particularly awful. I understood like that things go wrong in theater, and I mean, it's going to happen. I feel like a lot of the more new actors were a lot more shaken from this, but since this is my 6th show, I mean, it wasn't really a big deal to me. I've seen it happen so often. And then we had our Saturday night show, and that was spectacular. Absolutely our best show. Everyone was very on point, and nothing bad really happened. Just like the stars aligned. Everyone sang great. They sounded amazing. The dances were on point. Even the microphones, they worked. And even though there was a few issues with the microphones, we got them off and changed their mics in time. And I felt that it went really, really well. I was really excited because all of my friends were there that day. And we do like a little card thing. So I got cards from all of my friends. So it was really exciting. I thought it's just really nice to know that your friends and family are in the audience. So I feel like that almost made me, I was very engaged in what I was doing during the Saturday performance. I feel like my facials were a lot better. I was trying a lot harder to be like the person that your eye is drawn to on stage. So that was fun. That was fun for me. I was really excited. And then afterwards I got to go and hang out with my friends and like hear what they thought of the show. And they actually loved it. And they really got it and understood like the central message of like the race barrier. And even though I'm not a very like appealing character in the show, I'm actually kind of the more not evil per se, but just like the foil of the main character. I add a lot of, I'm the conflict in a sense. I'm one of the conflicts in the show, so they liked the way I portrayed my character, and I was really excited about that. And then obviously leading up today to the final show, and this was one of my worst shows personally. It was not the worst show that as a cast everyone did, but it was my worst show, and I'm actually really disappointed because I think that you were there, Mr. Fresco. I don't know, maybe I thought I saw you, but I totally forgot what I was doing on stage. It was horrible, like horribly embarrassing. I was thinking too hard about my next lyric, and I just totally forgot it, and I tried to fix it. But, I mean, what can you do? Like, if mistakes happen, and, I think I almost did too well in the last 3 shows. Something had to give at some point, so I'm not horribly disappointed about that. I wish I did not forget. And, also, we had a mess up in the middle of the show. They got way too, ahead of the music, and I kept thinking, oh, someone's gonna fix it, And it got to my part in the song, so I just decided that I was going to have to be the one to fix it. So I jumped over my part into a new part, and it fixed it. It just kind of looked like I messed up, even though I was just trying to get everyone back on track. So I feel like a lot of people felt like I just skipped my line or just didn't know what I was doing, but sorry, my computer disk is full, so I probably should start wrapping it up. It's like, I could have done better, basically, and I really hope that you, Mr. Fresco, were not in the audience for that one. I really, really hope you were there Saturday because it was so much better. I'm very happy with how this show turned out. I especially, being a senior and this being one of my last shows, they actually made me do a prayer circle before each show, and I think that was the best part of the show for me, was getting to do that. It wasn't really a prayer circle per se, but since our show is about the gods, the 4 gods of this Caribbean island, it was kind of like a prayer circle to them, and I tried to make it funny, and everyone really loved it. And I remember for the Saturday show, I didn't think I was doing another one, but I was in the dressing room and all I hear is Sophia, Sophia, and it was really exciting, and I got to go out and do another one, and everyone was really pumped and excited for me to do it. And I really like being the funny person, so that was really exciting and cool for me, and that was a really good memory from this show that I'll always have. I just think that all in all, especially in terms of CAS, for creativity, we're singing, we're dancing, we're acting. It's a very creative, and I took my character very seriously and the creative authority that I had over her, Andrea, very seriously. And I thought it was really fun to get creative with the character and just do, put on a great piece of theater. Then for action, the dancing was so hard. It was really a dance show, and we don't really do dance shows, especially since we're not really dancers in this school. And it was just a lot of dance rehearsal and a lot of action, and I feel I grew as a dancer, and movement wise I'm a little bit better than I was. I'm still never, dance is never going to be my strong point, but I do feel a little bit better with rhythmically and with movement because of this show. And then obviously service. The main point of this show is not to be professional or perfect. It truly is educational theater, and I feel really good about the message that we put out. Not only to be involved with the arts, but just the central message of the show about race, and that, we need to bridge this racial divide that is apparent in the world, even in the United States today. And I feel people actually really did get the message of this show. Even if I was the conflict and what was wrong with this race barrier, I still feel the way I portrayed my character was a crucial part in getting the story across. And I truly feel everyone in the audience, for the most part, got the point and the message and truly saw a great piece of theater. And I'm very proud to be part of this production. I'm glad that a lot of people got to see it and understand the story we were trying to tell, and enjoy some great live theater and live music and see the dancing and the acting and the singing. It was a really good show, I think, and I am very, very happy and proud to have been a part of it. I think that my friends were, even though this is my 6th show, a lot of my friends were surprised that I could actually sing, and that excited me a lot because, I just think that with each and every show I grow a little bit more, become a little bit better at dance and acting and singing, and it's exciting to see my own growth. And also to share my creative side, and my dance through action, obviously my service, because I love performing for the school and I love performing for other people. And this has been such a positive experience in general. And I am very looking forward to the next show, the spring musical. And I definitely think I will continue theater for the rest of my life. And I am so sorry, Mr. Fresco, that I've wasted literally 14 minutes of your life watching this video, but this is a cast span of let me think, 2 weeks basically, or maybe, yeah, Monday to Sunday, not even 2 weeks, because the other video kind of covered the other week. Not really. So tech week and all the show week. So I'm sorry that I probably wasted your time for 14 minutes and 27 now seconds, but gotta make sure that the cast gets done, and that I don't really know where that thought was taking me, but anyway, thank you. That's my cast for the rest of Once on This Island. Sorry. Bye. Thank you.